I forgot to turn my legs. Oh wait, no, I didn't.
Okay, it's recording. Everything is recording. We're good.
As per usual, welcome to Drinkshares Last Call, where we never know what's going on until we hit that live on air button. Thank you for joining us for our special edition, episode 7, Shotstravaganza, to celebrate the launch of Proxy by me, Rebecca S. Lieber. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. We're going to kind of explain the rules for how Shotstravaganza is going to work, because despite the fact that I'm sure you all expect us to just do shot for shot for shot, that is not how it's going to work, because I would like to live to see my book be published. So what's going to happen is, for the first round of orders, we are going to do 1 for 1. Then after that, we will move on to 2 orders, and then for every 3 orders, and so forth. Because the point isn't for us to get blitzed, the point is for me to get lots of pre-orders. So if you want to see us get totally blitzed, you have to pre-order. Everybody understands?
And you
I know
can
we're
buy
not drunk
multiple
yet,
copies.
so. All right.
Yeah, we're all sober right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is normally
We're
we
not pre-show.
prepare for the show with pre-show lubrication.
Yeah, we did not pregame this time, so it should be.
Yeah, so it's important that that you pre-order.
All right, for any of you guys who might be new, who might be friends of mine on Facebook or just watching the show because you know me, we're going to go around and introduce ourselves because you guys aren't familiar with my other drinkables. So we're going to start with Kara, because she's who I see on my screen right now. Go ahead, Kara, tell the world who you are.
Oh, hi, I'm Kara, also known as A.C. Weston. I'm the author of She's the End. I can't get my lower third to work, so that's why you can't see that at the bottom. But yeah, woo, Becky! That's what I have to say.
All right, Christine.
I am Christine Brennicke, author of 7 Shards, The Colors of Wine, which is a fantasy novel. I'm a big supporter of Becky.
Yay! And Joe.
Hey, I'm Joe, author of Lost Generation. Are we doing a secret question this time?
I had not prepared one, quite honestly. But I can think of one off the top of my head if we need to.
That's
I was
okay, you're
hoping
the
for
host.
something like, I don't know, something book-related.
Well,
Yeah,
I can't ask book-related questions because someone on the Drinkable staff hasn't totally read my excerpts yet.
No, I read them.
Oh, you are finished?
Mhm.
Okay,
I
so...
threw them while preparing for this. So.
Okay, so if you have read everything now, okay, this is going to be the secret question for the night, which is book-related. If my protagonist, Max Lucas, was sitting here with us on our roundabout for shots, what do you think her first shot of the evening would be?
What do we think her first shot of the night would be?
Mm-hmm.
Anything with alcohol. That's what she likes to say. Anything with alcohol. Except not PBR.
No PBR, because Max has standard.
PBR. If I were to buy her a shot, I would probably buy her... I would probably buy her Jameson, because that is the only thing that I have ever had as a shot that I actually liked or could tolerate. Everything else is like, let's mix this with something. I'm not just going to drink that straight. But Jameson is good.
I like that question. Okay, Christine, what would you buy Max?
I would get her the cheapest, bottom shelf whiskey, because I don't think she cares too much.
No, I think if it's alcohol flavored, she's in.
Yeah.
What about you, Joe?
I'm going with. I just feel whiskey. After reading about that character, I feel like whiskey is like. She wants to drink some whiskey.
Aren't there a lot of different kinds of whiskeys, though?
There are.
Like, whiskey means a lot.
Yeah, I mean, like.
I'm sure there's a cheapest.
She just goes like, give me whiskey.
Yeah, there's a well whiskey at every bar. I know, because I used to bartend. So.
You used to bartend?
Yes, I did.
How did I not know this about you?
I didn't know that.
That's super interesting.
Yeah, when I was working my way through college serving, I bartended. So
You must have so many stories.
I have quite a few, yeah.
Okay, sorry, keep going.
No, that's fine. So we're learning a few new things about Becky tonight. So we are going to do a little bit of several things tonight. We're going to talk a little bit about Proxy. We are going to talk about what the campaign process is like. We're going to talk about the do's, the don'ts, and do-overs, because everyone now has entered a campaign. I am the only one who has not successfully finished one, because mine started today. So Kara, Christine, and Joe are going to talk about some of the things that they have done, that they've experienced, things that worked for them, things that did not work for them, and what they would like to try again if they do it in the future. And then following up with this, next week we will be talking to Elon Samuel, who is going to be talking about relaunching a campaign, of what happens the first time you put yourself out there with your book and it doesn't go as quite exactly how you wanted it to go. You don't get the number of pre-orders, or something happens, you have to quit your campaign before your time period is over. So we'll be talking about that next week with Elon.
So, can I ask you a question?
You can ask me a question.
How many shots, or not shots, how many pre-orders did you have at the start of the show?
At the start of the show, the last I looked, I didn't look right at the show, I looked about 10 minutes
12.
before, and it was 12. Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
Why is it not 12 anymore? Does she already have a new order?
I'm refreshing. Okay, it's still at 12.
Okay. So, do we just need to do one round of shots for the beginning
For the
order?
first
The
12.
Inaugural orders, I like that.
You can have one shot for the first 12. That
Okay,
makes sense.
we'll do one for the first 12, and then forever after that. We'll get going. So I'm gonna take my crown off because it's sticking in my head. But it is very pretty. Even though I stole it. I stole that crown.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's another story. Huh?
I didn't intentionally steal it. Is it truly stealing if someone leaves it in your classroom and never comes back to claim it, and you don't really go out of your way to let them know that it's still there? I don't think so.
It's passive.
Yeah, it's passive-aggressive stealing.
Just passive.
Yeah.
There's nothing aggressive about that. It's just
I don't know. I don't know. So,
Unless you curse them out at some point, it's not aggressive.
okay, so does everybody have a drink prepared?
Mm-hmm.
Are we all doing the show?
We're starting.
Let's start off with one, and then we can go one by one.
I'm the show's designated driver.
Mm-hmm.
So
like
once I get too drunk to host,
6 months.
Kara's in charge.
Yeah. I'll take over the show.
Okay. Everybody clink.
Clink.
Ooh. Oh, one down. So now that we've all got one shot out of the way, Kara, I know that you can't drink anything fun, but what are you drinking tonight, and what are you reading?
Yeah, I'm drinking water.
Smart move.
I have nothing. Sorry.
Are you reading anything? Sorry, I still got.
I bought a whole bunch of books. Becky, you know this. I bought a whole bunch of books at WisCon.
Oh yeah, but I don't know what you bought.
I bought a ton of books, but I haven't started reading any of them because I'm doing this thing where I try and finish my book that I'm writing.
What's that?
And so I haven't been reading in the evenings. I've just been working on it. So
That's
yeah,
the
I guess
best reason.
my own book. I'm reading my own book over and over again, and fixing all the little things that are wrong with it, and figuring out the continuity stuff that I changed in the middle and then forgot to go back and fix, and all that stuff. It's my book. I'm reading my book.
Have you got your van
It's
back
the
yet?
end, by the way.
Is your van still abandoned in Wisconsin?
Oh yeah, so for everyone who doesn't know, my van broke down on the way back from Wisconsin, and there I was, stuck in Wisconsin, which is not a terrible state. It has lots of things going for it, but still, and I just wanted to go home, But yes, we have it back.
Good. I hope it didn't cost you too much of a small fortune.
I guess I could calculate how many books I need to sell in order to make it long. It's probably like 200. Like
Wow.
200 bucks.
You could do that.
So buy my book.
When you're done buying Proxy.
And Proxy too.
Buy
Proxy.
them both.
Maybe buy Proxy first.
Just support all.
'cause this is the Shotstravaganza.
You
And
want
you can buy my book later.
to fulfill and finish the Drinkshares collective collection. So just make it happen.
The unofficial collection.
Yeah.
The official collection. So
Yeah, because then we can give our collection away for prizes for
Wouldn't that be
things, and it'll
amazing?
so fun to see books in a row. Oh, I'm gonna be so
Aw.
excited when that happens. It's gonna be so great.
It is.
Anyway, moving on.
Maybe
Christy.
try to get them to all be the same height so they look nice next to each other.
In the same width.
Well, at least height. I don't think we can control the width.
Yeah, my book is gonna be so fat. They might make it taller so it doesn't have to be as fat.
What's your page count looking like these days?
Well, I
or
don't do it
word
by
count?
page count, word count. It's still around 170,000.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm trying to get it down to 150. But it's hard to write something short, you know. Yeah, it's good because there's that rule. Stephen King or whoever came up with it, like write whatever you're gonna write and then cut 10% of it. And
Mhm.
I've already cut a ton. I probably cut 30,000 words.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
When I started,
I have a lot of cutscenes.
when I started editing, which involved cutting a lot out, I somehow increased my word count substantially.
Well, because you find out that you have missing scenes. Or
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. Or you cut something and then you're like, well, we have to add this in. Happens.
Christine, sorry, I was looking at my phone because I thought I got an order. What are you drinking and what are you reading?
I am drinking Sweet Carolina Sweet Tea Vodka. In my Brennickey's shot glass.
What is that?
And
Wait, hold it
What
still
is
so I can see it.
oh, sorry.
Hold it still.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I just checked the site, and we have 14
There you go.
pre-orders.
Oh, okay.
So what's the shot order? Becky first?
Oh, why not?
Yeah, it's gonna need to be Becky.
Yeah.
Cheers, and thank you for whoever ordered. Clink.
Clink. Alright. And who takes the
Now-
next one for the 14th?
Huh.
I'll go next. That's that. There were two. So
All right, Joe, while you're
You wanna
pouring
take
out
a
your
shot?
shot there.
Brenda was pre-ordered one of them, so she wants to come take a shot for me.
Ah, yes!
Joe, while you're pouring that out, tell us what you're drinking and what you're reading.
I am drinking Kraken, which is
Nice.
from the.
Ooh.
You can do it in this cup if you want.
Ooh, that's fancy.
Shot glasses.
That's very fancy.
Oh, Miro. Oh, Miro, I'm sneaking in. I've got like, sorry guys, it's chaos right here. I got Brenda coming over here getting a drink, and then I got Miro showing up with his yokais, and everything's happening over here. Miro, you gotta watch your show, buddy.
Busy house.
I need to tell them about
Hold on,
the
1 minute, please.
banana.
You guys film while I take care of this situation.
Wait, I didn't say what
Christine.
book. I'm still reading the same book because I haven't gotten very far because I've been very busy with the draft shares of recent weeks. So still The Last Unicorn. That's that.
So is the Sweet Carolina vodka, is it like sweet? Is it like, was it sweet tea you said, or is it just
I
like
think if I was sipping it, it would probably be a bit sweet. Taking a shot, you don't really taste it much, but you feel it.
Yeah, Wyatt, I'll go ahead and talk about what I'm drinking since Joe's incognito. But Wyatt, oh, there he is.
Yeah, we're back. Sorry for the delay. We had a little child situation, so
Hi, Brenda.
interlopers.
Okay.
But
Hey, Brenda.
Hi.
Brenda pre-ordered the book, and she wants to do a shot.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brenda.
You're welcome.
She's drinking out of one of Miro's cups.
Oh, no. I'm a good mom.
So do a shot. Let's
Oh.
see it.
Is everybody else doing it? Or
No, you have to do
No,
it.
it's all you.
Round robin.
Oh.
Woo!
So bad.
Mm.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Brenda. Good on
Yay,
you.
Brenda.
We have Miro, Brenda, and Miro.
Elena just said yay, Brenda, too.
We're not feeling well early today, so they took a nap during the day, and now Miro.
God, should she be taking a shot?
She's feeling better now.
Okay.
But she was Miro napped with her, and so he's very wired and in the other room watching Yokai Watch and jumping on the couch. So if an interloper shows up, I'm going to try to keep him over there. But I can only control so much from here.
Especially if pre-orders come in.
I'll mute my mic to the best of my ability.
No sweat, Joe. What are you reading right now?
Anybody who's listening to the audio, Proxy.
Ooh, that looks pretty cool on
It
there.
does look cool
It
on there.
does. He put in the Slack channel today all of my excerpts in Kindle form, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, when I was reading over it, I realized I got to make a new one because I realized I put one of the excerpts in there twice. Because I was just going through the Inkshares website and kind of copying and pasting it. I wish, I'm going to go on a soapbox for a second. I wish there was a send to Kindle button on Inkshares website where like you could just like say like, hey, I wanna like think about pre-ordering this book, but just like send it, like mail it to my Kindle so I can read it in that format, because it's much like I much enjoyed. Proxy's good either way, but I much enjoyed it on here than reading it on the website. It's just harder to read, long stuff on the web. And this is, I mean, it's a very enjoyable read, and everybody should pre-order it.
Thanks, Joe.
How do you make Mobi files?
I do it through Scrivener. So I just created a new Scrivener file, and then pasted each section.
So you had to
in.
have Becky send you all the different sections?
No, I just copied the text off the each Inkshares page, and then pasted that into different Scrivener files, and then from Scrivener you can export to the Kindle format.
That's really cool.
I need to get Scrivener.
Yeah, it's good. I really like it. I also use Ulysses for when I'm just trying to like get rough stuff down. But it doesn't have any of the features. It's like more for like dumping thoughts. It's not so good for organizing them and turning them into something where you can produce a book out of it. I think they do have some export options in it, but nothing like how Scrivener has. Ulysses looks cooler though. So like sometimes you want to like feel cool while you're writing Ulysses.
Makes sense.
So I'm getting lots of follows and I'm getting lots of recommendations, but those do not count for shots, people.
Don't count. You gotta get those pre-orders in.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Like Miro. You like Miro.
Yeah.
Get those numbers up.
We need 10 more right now.
All right, so I am drinking. Wyatt, I asked him to run to the store today, and I was like, Wyatt, you know what I like. Just give me something that I can mix with the alcohols that we have, because I basically didn't want to leave the house today. And Wyatt came home with lime juice. I already had vodka, and he did something else. Malibu coconut rum, which I have not drank since I was in college. And I was like, what is this? What's the position?
That sounds good to me.
Yeah, I just didn't know.
Coconut and lime.
And I was like, what am I making here? And he's like, well, I figured you like kamikazes, and that was pretty much the only shot I know how to make, so kamikaze shots. Well, we also had a bunch of lemons left over from the crawfish boil we did like 2 or 3 weeks ago. So I have 2 prepared groups of shots, which I have in my little tumbler here for pouring. I've got my kamikazes up first, and if they need them, I have some lemon drop shots too that I made with the fresh lemons. So I'm fully prepared. But
those sound delightful.
How do you make a lemon drop?
It's basically a little lemon juice, vodka, and some sugar. So if you do them in proper shot form, like if you got them at a bar, it would either be depending on how good the bar is. If it's a crappy bar, it's going to be sweet and sour with vodka. If it's a good bar, it'll be lemon juice with vodka. But they do a sugar rim on the little shot glass. But since I was going to be mixing multiple drinks, I just put the sugar right in, so it tastes like lemonade, basically, like a lemonade shake-up.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. So, but if people don't order books, then I can't do shots, and I can't enjoy. Like, why would you want to deprive me of that?
You can still. I mean, like if the show gets on and if people haven't pre-ordered, then you could do a bunch of shots.
I'll just be like, yeah, in my depression.
For reason, yeah.
start knocking back, just channeling my protagonist.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
dear.
You could do
Oh
like.
no. Don't channel your protagonist.
So, since we're at the part of the show where I'm hosting and I don't really know what to say about my own book because it feels like bragging, Joe, since you are currently reading, why don't you tell us a little bit about your thoughts in the excerpts that you have read so far?
I like the. So I like the Max sections. I'm trying to think of a way to put this. I really like the Max sections. I like the future sections, and the past sections are. I'm interested to see how you, how are you mixing those? So I know these are excerpts. Is this linear in the stuff that you put on Drinkshares, or is this like all
not
over
really
the place?
linear? This has
Okay.
the first 3 chapters are linear so far. The next couple of excerpts are a little bit more scattered because I didn't want to just keep giving stuff that I had already talked about. I chose those a little bit later on because I wanted to introduce a few new characters, and because I remember, I think it was Craig in particular, Craig Monroe, that was like, hey, this is really awesome, but I'm really, really looking forward to this fantasy stuff. Where's that fantasy stuff? So I put up some excerpts that had to do with a little bit more with the abilities and the not magic, but the sense of their psychicness and things like that. So.
In one of the chapters, one of the excerpts, I don't know which one it is. I think it might be like 5 or something like that. There's some serious shit goes down, and something happens to one of the major characters. Where's that at in the book?
Pretty early on, actually.
Okay.
That's one of those things where I don't mind putting it early in the book because it does not turn out exactly how you think it does. So everybody is going to freak out because one of the major characters basically gets offed. And you're like, wait a minute, you just established this character, I really liked this character. And then you find out maybe not exactly, it didn't exactly go down the way you thought it was. So I'm okay with giving that bubble away, bursting that bubble right away. But I wanted to use that excerpt because it introduced my other 2 characters of Gwen and Seth, who Gwen is my favorite character to write. Because as sassy as Max is, she is just vivacious, and Gwen is all about fashion, and she's sassy, and she takes no shit from anybody, and she basically, in my head, is Saffron from Firefly.
Oh, good character.
Yes. So, and her ability is that if you guys ever watched Alphas or what was that show that was the not Australian show, it was like a New Zealand show about the Almighty Johnsons, where if they speak, like one of the characters had the ability to speak and control like what you did and your actions and stuff. That's Gwen's ability, but she has to be making sure that she has eye contact with you. And there's a joke about that because she says that she has to maintain eye contact because there was a time that she accidentally looked a person right in the eye and told them to go fuck themselves, and that basically ended in reconstructive surgery for that guy. So she has to be careful with how she absently uses sarcasm and things like that.
How does so it goes like there's like present time stuff and then there's past stuff. Like how does that work in like book? Like what's the interplay between like what happens in the past and what's happening in the present?
Well, basically this is neither a non-chronological or a non-linear book because it's going to have excerpts from different time periods all throughout history, but it's also going to have different excerpts from people's perspectives as the story is unraveling, because I really wanted to write this in the vein of the Night Circus. Is it the Night Circus? No, I can't even remember the name of the book.
Yeah, the Night Circus.
Yeah, it's a Night Circus. I can't remember who wrote it, but I read it last year. I've only read it once, but I absolutely loved it. And she did a really great job of telling a story over a long period of time with excerpts of time, but she only revealed what she needed to do as the story was unfolding. So you would jump from the actual events of the Night Circus to, like, 30 years in the future with a child who would eventually grow up and become very important in the Night Circus later on. So the idea of
like parallel timelines moving at different rates.
Exactly. And so it might be a little bit jarring at first, but once you realize that everything kind of syncs up as you get closer to the end, it's kind of a fun adventure of trying to figure out how these non-linear perspectives all eventually become one story. And that's what I was really excited about doing. So the time periods that I've been focusing on at the beginning with the excerpts have mostly been Athene, who is from ancient Greece. But all of the old deities basically kind of get a little bit of light from the different pantheons of the Norse, the Indian, Egyptian, and Greco-Roman. But eventually, as time moves on, because they're immortal, so as time moves on into different periods of history, you're going to start to see more people with different abilities, periods of time that were historically relevant, because what the primes, the preternaturals, the gods, basically, they do is they have their fingers and all of these inner workings, and they're controlling things, because their whole objective is to keep people worshiping them, to be dependent on them. And so it's important that they are constantly having their thumb on the civilization at the time, or whoever has the strongest military, or whoever is financially and medically and scientifically advanced. So you're going to see a couple different time periods all leading up to explaining how we ended up to the progress of the story.
That's very American Gods-like.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like
Which
that a lot.
I have heard that compliment over and over again, and every time I hear that compliment, I am flabbergasted, because I had not taken the time to read American Gods yet. I like Neil Gaiman. He's one of my favorite people that write episodes for Doctor Who. I was a huge Stardust fan, which is actually what I'm rereading currently. I forgot to mention that. But about 6 months ago, after somebody had mentioned the first time that my book was like American Gods, I finally buckled down and read it, and there are a lot of parallels. The story isn't similar at all, but very much in the same way as you get different snippets of time periods and viewpoints that all congeal to be one, like, congruent storyline.
We got another order in.
Yay!
And
That would be my shot,
and then
right?
we have a question
Yes.
from the audience.
I think that's your order. That's the
That
shot.
probably is my
So
order.
you can pick
Christine
your
has to shoot
own
for
shot
herself.
order.
I can take my own shot.
Oh, you can? Okay. All right.
You
Somehow
can make
that
any
seems
rules
fitting.
about that. Yeah. It's getting thirsty. Alright, cheers. Wait, my screen isn't working, is it?
Oh, we can see you.
Yeah, we see it.
Okay,
Clink.
it's not working for me.
So Brenda just told me that there's a huge storm coming, so if at some point I disappear, I'll be back. Oops.
I wonder if that's going to hit us down here, too.
So I have a question for you, Becky.
Yes.
You launched this afternoon, right?
Yes, at noon today.
So walk us through the process of taking it from a draft into a funding project.
It was remarkably easier than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be an entire process. And so I have had this up as a draft since, I want to say, January 26th. That sounds right. When I joined Drinkshares. And I have been steadily building a following, getting a reader base, being part of Drinkshares, being part of the Slack, being part of Draftshares. So getting myself out there. So my advice to you before you do anything with trying to move a draft from the draft phase to the sales phase is you need to get yourself out there. You need to be known. Last night I had 88 followers. I did a push, and I was like, hey, let's get me up to at least 100 before I do pre-sales tomorrow. And through people on Twitter and through Slack and through the channels of people that I'm friends with on Facebook, I had 108 orders when I woke up this morning. So, or not orders, sorry. Followers. Wishful thinking. But I had 108 followers when I woke up. So that got my spirits really high, and I got online, went to the page, and there's a little green button up there that says, you know, sell pre-orders. So I clicked that, and it basically asked me some basic questions of how long do you think your project's going to be, like word count wise. Do you want to sell a hard copy or a soft copy version of the physical book? Do you want, which one of the publishing goals do you want to hit? Do you want to hit the light one of 250? Do you want to hit the higher official one of 750? Or do you want to do both, where basically whatever happens first happens? And you just go through and you just type in the answers, and you click what you need on yes, no, and then you hit submit. You put in your financial information for your credit card, and you're good to go. That's basically it. And so it was really simple to do. Did all of you guys, I know I've asked this before, I can't remember, did all of you guys do contests? Is that how you guys got?
Yeah, Kara and I were in the same contest.
Okay.
Joe was in the very first contest.
So you've never actually gone through the actual sales campaign part. Like, I know you haven't gone from a draft, but you never put a book up and then just went straight to sales.
No, that's what it is. You just,
So it's the same exact process, just in contest. Okay.
Yeah. It just if your genre or whatever your qualifier is fits with the contest, then it automatically enters you.
Okay, gotcha.
So we have another shot to take, and a
Oh.
question from the audience: is proxy light or dark, as in murder, swearing, etc., or more YA?
My biggest fear was that it was going to be lumped in with Twilight, because when I started writing this book, it was 2008, and Twilight was huge during that time period. It was right after the fall of Harry Potter getting really big, and the movies had pretty much hit their apex. And so 2008 rolls around, and I was so fucking sick of Twilight. I wanted to punch Stephanie Meyer in the face. The feminist in me was upset. The writer in me was upset, because not only was she being a terrible advocate for young girls, but she was being a terrible advocate for good writing. And I finally just sat down one day, and I was like, you know what? I can do this so much better than she can. I'm going to write the story that I've had in my head for years. And if you have watched me on the show, you kind of get a taste for my personality. Yes, I swear, I'm super, super inappropriate, super immature. So if you like that, you're going to love my book, because there is lots of swearing. there is violence. I wouldn't say that I'm grotesque in that. Some of the scenes are more graphic, but it's basically to show certain characters' level of anger and evilness that they'll go to achieve their ends. So if there is anything grotesque and graphic in it, it serves a point. It's not just to be morbid and awful. But yeah, there's sarcasm, there's humor, there's a lot of darkness, a lot of twisting and turning. You're never really sure where it's going to go until it's done.
It's very funny though. Like, it's not all edginess.
It's sassy kind of humor. Like, everybody's sassy.
It's basically me talking. It's when I write, it's basically, if I was telling the story to somebody, how I would literally tell them the story to their face. So what cracks me up about everyone thinking it's funny is because I got a lot of reviews or recommendations talking about how funny it was. And I love that, because my husband teases me about how I'm not funny all the time, and now I have anecdotal internet evidence that says the contrary. So kiss my ass, husband. I love you, but you're wrong.
You're laughing too.
So there's a question in the audience, and it says, how did you come about picking your genre as dark fantasy? There's a mention that a lot of the dark fantasy on Drinkshares is more horror-based, which I mean, like, whatever. I mean, nuts to trends.
We haven't read the entire books of any of them, so.
Right.
Yeah. But like, what comes about deciding your genre, and how did you decide your genre?
That's a really good question, because I had a really hard time picking my genre, because it was an after the fact. I didn't set out to write a genre-specific book. If I was going to pick all of the genres that my book fits into, it's fantasy, historical, humor. I guess fantasy, dark fantasy would probably be included together, but it's several genres together. I set out to write a story that I had in my head. I didn't set out to meet the expectations of one specific genre. And I have a feeling all of my stories will be like that. I have a story, and it's not really up to me to figure out what genre it's in. It's up to you guys to decide. But
I think that's really great with Drinkshares. It's a lot easier to blend genres, because you're not being rejected based on the fact that you don't fit into a box.
Yeah. We talked about that with Avalon on Saturday, if you guys caught the cast that we did for the Drinkshares finale. And one of the things that I mentioned when Kara and I went to WizCon, we were asking questions in the panels of people who are established writers who make a living out of this. And almost all the time when they were talking about their rejection or things that had come up as an obstacle for them to get to publishing, 95% of the time it was their publisher that they were trying to get in with rejected them, not because the writing wasn't good or not because it wasn't original or groundbreaking, but it was, we don't know how we're going to market this. This is too broad. This is too all-encompassing of several genres or ideas that we don't know how we're going to market this, so we're going to pass on it. And Drinkshares doesn't worry about that, because it's not about fitting a trend or what they're buying this year based on what people are buying. It's, are people pre-ordering the book? If so, if it meets the goal, we publish it, because it's run by people's wishes, not by people, like, or I shouldn't say people, not by the wishes of the corporate book publishing companies, which is really wonderful. I kind of decided on dark fantasy because fantasy is a genre that gets misallocated a lot. Fantasy is anything having to do with fantastic stuff. It's not just high fantasy, just like science fiction isn't just hard science fiction. A lot of people would argue with that, but anything that fits into mythology or magic or whimsical things that are out of the ordinary in a regular society, those all qualify as fantasy. And since mine does have aspects of darkness in it, since it's gritty and it's got cursing in it and a little bit of violence, and my characters have really big flaws. My main character is a huge alcoholic, and she's not apologetic about it. She'll tell you to your face, especially if it means you'll give her more alcohol. But it all stems from the fact that she uses it as a coping mechanism because she has voices in her head. She hears their thoughts all day, and that's the only thing she's ever found to stop it. So basically, when I picked my genre, it wasn't that I set out to fit into one specific area. That was the closest thing I could find that fit in with what I was writing.
We have 2
Becky,
shots.
I think you need to take a shot.
Okay, do we have 2 orders now? Okay.
Yeah, I got
Yes,
one.
17. Are we doing 1 for 1?
Well, we were doing
yeah.
1 for 1, but if we're getting more, we can do.
We'll see.
I thought
Like,
we were gonna start-
we'll put a threshold.
I
on
guess
it.
it's 9:40.
Yeah,
We should keep doing 1 for 1.
Yeah, just keep track of how much you've been drinking, and if it's too much, you can go back.
All right, for the audience
not
to
to
help
die.
us, because us keeping track is not going to be able to happen for too much longer. I'm on the 3rd.
I should be keeping track, shouldn't I?
I
Wait,
gotta-
no, I can see your
Yeah, I'm
face.
checking the
Chalkboard.
page. I've been refreshing the page. And,
Okay, Becky's on her 3rd. Here we go.
Dun, dun, dun.
Woo.
Woo!
all right, here goes.
Wait, hold on. 1 second. There we go.
You're trying to, are you focusing on me?
Oh yeah, we forgot.
Oh,
We
no.
have sound effects.
Hold on. Yep, it's that time of the show. We got a little surprise for the audience.
You have to take the shot.
You have to do it.
Drum roll. There's a drum roll. You have to take the shot. Go.
Pirate Joe takes a shot when he wants to take a shot.
Oh my gosh. How many shots?
Oh.
Yeah.
That's great.
Feels good. The shots get tastier the more you do them.
This is true.
Joe, how many shots have you had?
Well,
That's 3.
should have been my 3rd, but
That's
Brenda
3.
took one.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And someday we are going to go out on the town in real life, and we're going to see if you can get a hold of Pirate Hat.
Alright.
Yeah, it gets better too. I can do that.
Oh my
It
gosh.
burns less
Okay, guys, we
each
have to
time.
focus.
Oh, do we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
Says the
3
DD.
shots are threshold. Come on.
I haven't had a 3rd yet. We
Oh,
need
you haven't?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let me refresh the page.
more pre-orders.
Oh, no, you
Um,
do need to take a shot. We got
Yeah, I
another.
do. What?
16 needs to take a shot.
Is someone going to drum roll for me?
Oh, yeah, I gotta get the sound effect. Hold on. Let me know when you're ready, and I'll hit it.
I'm
Was that-
ready. I'm very
I wonder
ready.
if that was Ricardo because it says that he pre-ordered right now. I have not been getting emails saying that I'm getting pre-orders, so
There, I'm just refreshing the page.
yeah.
It might take
Sometimes the emails
a
are
delay.
annoying.
Yeah, Ricardo just tweeted about it, so thanks Ricardo Henriquez.
It is a little sweet now.
It gets better. It gets better
Yeah.
as the night goes on.
In the words of Will
it's
Ferrell,
pretty
it's so
tasty.
good once it hits your lips.
Where were we?
We were talking about some book. I don't know.
I don't know. Why are we here again?
Oh, so we need to give you some unsolicited advice.
Okay, bring it.
Or like a
Um,
campaign, right?
Yeah. You're doing something that I would give you advice to do if you weren't doing it, which is having a Facebook event for your launch. I really wish I had done that.
Invite people to it so that they don't forget it, because people will forget if
Yeah.
they're right at their computer when you tell them about it. They'll forget. So it's
And then,
smart.
like, once people start commenting, more people will look at it and be like, oh, yeah, I need to do this, instead of just scrolling through like they do. So that's a good idea, and you're doing it.
Well, thank you. I'm glad I'm doing something right.
I guess I'll put some comments on there later. Give you some traffic.
Yeah, my advice.
Maybe tomorrow, actually.
My advice is, you got to get those pre-orders, and like, you're gonna be harassing people, and it's gonna you're gonna spend a lot of social capital getting your book funded. So you're gonna be harassing people, even your relatives. You're just gonna be like, look, I need to get this book funded. You owe me one, and don't expect to call in a favor again for a while because you're gonna be burning it. Don't be afraid to burn it.
Hey, Grandma,
And
remember
also-
when I visited you in the hospital? Buy my book.
Yeah.
No. Your grandma will buy your book, except I'll tell you this right now: grandmas are not going to be able to figure out Inkshares.
Yeah, I know.
You got to
Still
sit
have
with
to walk
grandma
them through it.
because
Yeah,
grandma
you need
doesn't
to.
understand how to sign up for something on a
Yeah.
website. If she did,
Well,
her money
true.
would be taken from her by a lot of people trying to sell her things.
If my grandma understood how the internet worked, she wouldn't share a Facebook with my grandfather.
Ricardo in the chat says, "Be shameless and relentless."
Yeah, and okay, so this is advice that's hard to
Follow
take,
up.
I know, but it's very important. You need to not be mad and resentful of people who don't order your book.
Yeah.
Just deal with it. Some people aren't going to order your book. They don't owe you an order, even if you think they owe you something. Just be okay with it, because it's not worth. They might buy it when it comes out, and you need those sales too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, those are important sales. Then they can hold the book in their hands and be like, "Wow, this is a real thing. I thought Inkshares was a scam." I had a couple relatives tell me because I brought Gary Witta's Abomination to a Christmas thing with my extended relatives, and one of them was like, "Wait a second, so this is a real publisher." He thought,
Oh shit.
he thought it was an online scam, and I was getting scammed, and he didn't want to tell me, but he thought that he wasn't going to put his money into a scam. So I showed him the actual book, and he saw the logo, and he was like, "This is real." And I was like, "Yeah, it's real. It's real. Order my book." So some people are not going to believe you. It's good to buy those books and show them to people. Then they believe it.
Yeah.
I only crowdsource Nigerian prince's gold. So, no books for me.
Oh, that's great. Speaking of that, though, I do want to put out something right now. This is probably going to screw me over for orders later on, but do not message me and ask to trade pre-orders, because I will not do it. I'm saying that right now. I don't believe in it.
Formation.
Thank you. Please don't do it, because I will ignore you.
Wait,
It's not
can
something
you
that I believe in.
repeat
And-
this in a much scarier tone?
Do not even
Oh, wait, wrong one.
bother trying
There you
to
go.
get pre-order trades out of me.
But
Do
wait,
you
wait.
understand?
Becky, what if they say, "I really love your concept, Max is amazing, and I really think that your protagonist and my protagonist in my book would get along really well. Will you check out my book?" What if they say that?
That's different. I will gladly check out a book, but I can't promise I will order anything, and that's well within my purview. Because if I can't get mad at you for not ordering my book, then you certainly can't get mad at me for not ordering yours, even if I checked it out. The thing is, at the end of the day, I don't want my book to have only been published because I schemed the system and because I was able to manipulate people and guilt them into ordering. I want people to buy my book because they genuinely want to read my book. And if it doesn't get funded, then I'm okay with that, because at least I know I put my heart and soul into it, I gave it my best genuine attempts, and I didn't have to try to trick anybody to buy it. That's just how I feel. And a lot of people don't agree with me on that, and I'm sorry that you don't agree with me. And that's perfectly okay for you to not agree with me. Just don't expect me to pre-order your book just because you bought mine. When you want somebody who actually is going to read it and love it, I would. That being said, back to you guys.
Okay, so the crux of the issue is you'll buy books that you really want to read when you can read them.
Exactly.
So anybody who gets an order from you knows that it's because you genuinely like their work. So that's, I think, really cool.
I just realized I forgot to take the sunglasses effect off when I was given that really stern speech.
It really added a lot to it, I thought. It added a lot to the whole delivery.
Basically, what you guys just experienced is what happens when I take kids out in the hallway at work. I'm like, okay, something's going on. Let's talk it out. Does it sound that I kind of want another shot?
Yeah, I know.
No, it's not sad.
This
Wait,
drink
what
showed
were
up.
we
What
at
happened
before?
here?
Because
Uh-oh.
Three is like the point where you start to want more.
Yeah. Now I'm
My
drinking
face
the
feels
gross
warm,
part.
and not because I got a sunburn yesterday.
your face feels warm. I like that feeling when you can drink your face.
That's that nice tingle feeling.
It's nice.
We're really.
We need to get to 20 so I can have my 4th shot. Audience,
Move it.
please help me out.
Yeah, come on. Hook us
Help
up.
Said
Me
he would
out
order
and
6
vicariously help Christine.
I know some
Right.
of you guys,
Oh, yeah, that's
out
what I
there have credits that you can go and give a book to a friend. Make it happen. Because I've had, I mean, we're past the
Okay.
threshold, and now I'm like randomly drinking a beer. A beer just showed up.
Can we just start drinking
Go-
at this point?
Yeah.
Well, you can drink whatever you want.
Our designated
I
driver
think
said
the
we could do
drinking
what we want.
aspect is like to force you.
I like the monocle.
This
Good
beer is
touch.
really something. I don't know where it came from.
I approve of it as well.
Indubitably.
And it allows me to see things better with but one eye.
I'm going to go ahead and finish off my kamikaze because I really want to get to my lemon drop shots.
Okay. Ooh, now I can have
So-
a beverage with this brand new empty glass.
While we are waiting for more people to put in pre-orders, why don't you guys take the opportunity to talk a little bit more about the campaign process? So why don't we go to each of you and give one thing that you guys think that you did well in the campaign process, then we'll come back around and you guys can talk about one thing that you would do better next time. So we'll start with Joe. Captain Joe.
Hello. We've got a small child running around, banging into the table and things.
Pirate, go!
So, yeah, I did everything wrong.
But you still
I-
won, so shut up.
You have more pre-sales
Yeah.
than everybody, so shut your
Explain
mouth.
yourself.
Slap!
Be good to your family, and be a good person over a good crowdfunder. That's my advice. Because I did not.
Because your family lasts after the campaign is over.
Yeah, I did not communicate well what I was doing when I started this, and I have regrets for that. I kind of got caught up in the thrill of crowdfunding when the contest first started, and it kind of I didn't realize how it would kind of consume your life, and you know, I made some mistakes. So that's not funny.
Okay.
She's the sober one.
You're just being so serious, but you're wearing a pirate hat.
Pirate joke can be serious. Pirates are very serious.
Pirates have feelings
Are you
too,
not
dear.
friends?
I'm sorry, keep talking about your commitment to your family.
Be good. I mean, that's like it's a good advice for anybody who's crowdfunding. Is like don't let it consume your soul, because you know.
Yes, don't let it consume your soul.
You know, a crowdfunding campaign, you know, I know you can set the length anywhere, you know, generally, you know, I think Drinkshares recommends they be like 3 months long or something like that.
That's what I did. I did 90 days.
So, you know, your family's going to live for longer than 90 days, we all hope. So, don't come out of the competition without a family. That would be my advice. I know that this didn't work because we all jumped in at the contest, but since we just had draft shares, build a following before you try to fund a book. It's a hell of a lot harder jumping in without anybody knowing that you're even writing a book. And
Oh yeah, I
trying
had that
to,
problem.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
trying to get it out, you know?
Well, because you hadn't written your book yet, right?
No. And
So no one knew you were writing.
well, I had started in January, and I was outlining. I was outlining during the contest, and when I wasn't supposed to start writing for a month. Like a month into the contest, so like I had like a schedule planned out on how I was going to get it done, and then the contest came, so I like freaked out and like dropped everything and started writing, and then like trying to write while also running a campaign is impossible, so it was just a hot chaotic mess, and it was a wild west back then. I know that Nerdist contest and all those other ones have been just as crazy. But yeah, it was something.
I'm gonna start eating pretzels, so forgive me for eating them.
Oh, is that what that is?
I
Okay.
probably need to eat something at this point.
That's
I'm
fine.
super angry.
It makes it more like we're at a bar hanging
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, it is true. It is
I would
true.
be
Last
ordering fries right now.
Oh my god, I
Oh my
could
god,
go
chili
for.
fries sound awesome right now.
Like bacon ranch fries.
Karen,
There
do you remember when we were in Wisconsin and all I wanted was a chili cheese dog?
Uh-huh.
We went to the park.
And you started making me crave all sorts of different things.
Yeah. I drug Kara all around downtown Wisconsin until we found, or downtown Madison until we found a good restaurant.
There's a place in Milwaukee called Pizza Man, and they have the best cheese curds ever. It's so good. I don't even know what they do with them, but like it's mind-bogglingly good. And like I'm not supposed to eat dairy, do it anyway. I don't even care.
Kara and I
Yes,
found the best cheese.
I didn't buy the cheese, and I regret it so much.
I told you you'd regret it.
I do. I should have bought the cheese. It was
What
so
was it?
good.
It was
It's this
5-year aged cheddar.
Aged cheddar, and it was just so good.
It was. They were doing. We
I
went to
teared
Hy-Vee.
up.
Kara had
Literally.
never been to a Hy-Vee before, and there was one like 5 minutes from our hotel, and she really, really, really wanted a salad one day because
What's
we
a
had just been
Hy-Vee?
eating junk. Hy-Vee is the best grocery store on the planet.
Huh.
Okay, let me educate you all for a
How do
second.
you spell
Oh
it?
my gosh.
Okay, Becky's officially drunk, so she's going to talk to you about it, grocery stores. So, Hy-Vee is a restaurant that
Is it
most of
grocery
the
store?
time has, I'm sorry, it's a restaurant, grocery store that has a restaurant attached to it. And they have a buffet that is extending into the grocery store. So if you go into the restaurant and you buy buffet meal, you can eat everything on their pre-made buffet.
Like
Which
Wegmans?
is like sushi to Chinese food to Italian food to like meatloaf and mashed potatoes and fried chicken and everything. And
Is
then
that
they
like
have,
is it like a Wegmans?
I don't know. I don't know what that is. So probably.
Sounds like that.
But they also have pre-made meals, so you can go in and if you want like chicken fingers or chicken wings, or I got chicken parmesan, and they had meatloaf, and what else did they have? Kara, help me out. You got like lo mein.
Sorry,
or
I'm
something.
making faces at a
Yeah.
Kara got some kind of lo
I
mein
did mine.
or fried
Faces in
rice.
the chat, so she can't listen to the talk about the buffet. Hey, we got a legitimate question from the chat. It said, in 10 words or less, why should we care about Max?
Are you a person with flaws? Do you appreciate that? Read about it. Was that 10 words? I don't
Can
even
we do
know.
That was 13.
Hostile words.
But no, that was pretty good. Are you a person with flaws?
I like that.
What did you say next?
Do you like pretzels?
Do you
No.
like pretzels?
Read about it.
Because I do.
Read
Are you a
about it.
person with flaws, do you like pretzels? Buy the book.
The thing about Proxy is if you want like a true reason to read it, Proxy makes you question things you believe. It also makes you question things that you think you know about history. So it's got philosophical elements to it, but it also has a lot of human elements to it. So
I have a
Are you
question.
laughing at me?
Too.
No, I'm not. I'm laughing at how
philosophical.
it kind of sounded like you slurred the word philosophical a little
Shut up, Kara.
Philosophical.
bit. Philosophical.
Shut up. The only reason I've got sunglasses
those
on right now is to hide my bloodshot eyes.
So in the parts that go into the past, will the past be as sassy as the present, or is it more dry?
It's not. I would not call it dry. In fact, the parts in the past are a little bit darker. That's where the really graphic elements of violence come in, because the main.
Sorry, go ahead. Graphic violence.
Just continue like it's all normal.
It's fine.
Nothing to be alarmed about.
The main elements. Stop it, Chris.
Chris Kara. Oh.
Graphic violence!
Hey kids, do you like blood?
Come on down to the sewers, Georgie. We've got balloons, all kinds. Float.
Oh, floats.
We all float down here, Georgie.
I'm really sorry for that.
Pull back. Pull back. What were you saying? I forget. You were talking about philosophy.
Okay. Christine, you broke Christine, Kara.
It's so easy to do.
The kitty face is lost. There's a kitty ghost. There we go.
To be fair, we have not had a giggle fest this righteous and pure since episode 0.
Yeah.
Anyway, as I was saying, before I was so rudely interrupted by terrifying clowns.
Sorry. Sorry. I shouldn't have
You
special
remember
effects.
your last thought?
The aspects of the stuff in the past are a little bit more graphic because they are usually having to deal with the people who were originally the gods, and they're fighting to get that power back. A lot of the story that has to do with Athene has to do with the fact that she feels that because of the rise of Christianity, she was deprived something that she was owed. Her father left her in charge of the Greco-Roman pantheon, which was a really important thing considering that she was, a female. And so she feels really deprived of that, and since she's one of the few remaining preternaturals from that time period, because they've all been killed off because of Christianity and the wars of religions and the influence of Islam and the monotheistic religions, she is kind of hell-bent on getting back the power that she once had for the preternaturals at any cost. So she is willing to do just about anything if it means that she can get the power back. She's not obsessed with the power, but she's coming from a place of she doesn't trust humanity to be able to govern themselves, and she thinks that the preternaturals and the primes, which is the old gods, what they call themselves, are the only people that can guide humanity properly. So she's coming from a place of thinking this is what's best for humanity.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What's Kara's big advice for campaigning?
Oh, wow.
Well, she already talked about not being a dick, which is really
don't be a
important.
dick.
Don't be a dick.
That's like general life advice. I
That's
think that you
not
have
usually
to you have to bite off smaller chunks. Like if you think, oh my gosh, I have this many orders to get, it feels like too much. But if you just tell yourself, okay, what am I gonna do to get my next 10 orders? Then that's easier, and you can do a contest, or you can make it a goal to talk to 10 people that day, or something. I don't know. You can do all sorts of things. Just bite off smaller pieces and chew.
That's really good because it's when you're on day 1 and you're looking at, how many. I'm gonna look and see how many I currently have right now. But say it was 17. That was our last count. When you look at 17 orders and you see that you still have to get to 250. And yeah, 89 days feels like a really long time, but it's still really daunting. It's a lot. And so that's really good advice to look at it as how many can I get by the end of the week? How many can I get by the end of the month rather than how can I get 250?
Each individual pre-order is such a huge deal.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a person that's going to have your book and read your book. And it's amazing.
Anybody who doesn't think that every single one of those individual orders doesn't mean something to all of us, you're sorely mistaken, and we appreciate it.
Do. Every order really means a lot.
Because it's just, you can't get to 250 without the stair step, Like, if I didn't have order 19, I wouldn't have gotten to 250. So, shout out to Elon Samuel because he was my first today. And shout to Avalon because she was my second, which really meant a lot to me because she is a bigwig. That means something to me. So, thank you, 1 and number 2. Why are you bringing me more booze? I stuck it in the freezer so it would stay cold, so now I have a lemon drop slushie.
Ooh, that sounds delicious.
It is. I'm sure it will be. I tried it earlier when it was liquidy. Are you Wyatt's laughing at Joe's pirate hat?
It's pretty good.
It's pretty awesome.
So like,
And
Joe and I
sticks
both
to
have
his
an eye patch, but they're on the opposite sides, and that intrigues me.
They're on the same side from my viewpoint. I think it's because yours is backwards.
It will not allow me
Mine's
to have
backwards.
both devil horns and an angel's halo at the same time.
I know.
What the heck, special effects?
It
Like,
thinks you can't be both.
I can't be both?
No, it can't be both.
Crazy.
Come on. It's like you're
Very
sorting me into Hogwarts.
judgmental.
Are we gonna see Wyatt on here, or is it like?
I already asked him.
Oh, you have 18, Becky.
I have 18!
Yeah, we did. No, yeah, we did a shot for 18.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, we
I
did.
don't
That's
think
right.
Did no.
We didn't get
No,
my
we didn't.
hopes all up, people.
You can do more shots, but I've been
I
refreshing
can't.
this page.
I gotta wait for my
I
slushy.
did it. Wait, DD.
What?
You take a shot for 18. Do the math.
Mm,
I don't know.
Water.
Carrot's house.
That's what we drink on dry
Was
campus.
18 my shot? 'Cause if not, then it's a new one. Maybe it was mine.
You can do a shot if you want. I'm not gonna stop you.
Nobody's stopping
Becky's
you.
turn.
Stop. Shop
finish.
policing. Joe.
Shot policing. I'll finish
Yeah,
my
shot
shot.
pirate.
No, I said I'm not gonna shot police.
Yeah.
I'll shot police. I'll do what I want. I
Oh my god.
don't. Welcome to Drunk Becky land. I'm your host, Drunk
land.
Becky.
So, Drunk Becky, tell
Drunky.
us a secret.
Silver Kara.
Tell us a secret about your book that
Oh.
only people watching this show will get to know.
That's a really good one. Okay, I know one that I can give away because you kind of figured it out early in the book anyway. Joe was talking about an important character that dies very early on in the book, but that person doesn't really die. In fact, that person not dying becomes the catalyst for really understanding what's going on in the story because there's two separate stories going on like at the same time, and you think one side's the good guys and you think one side's the bad guys, but you don't really know who's good because they're kind of like they both do stuff
There's
that's good and bad. There's complexity. Stuff
I love.
happens.
Everyone should love.
So by following the character that dies, you really start to understand who the good guys are because why would bad guys save a person for no reason?
Hey, Becky,
Yeah.
take a shot.
Okay. I was gonna. You don't know my life.
But it's for another order. You got another
There's a-
order.
Did I get
There's
19?
19.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. Duly noted. Thank you.
The glasses stay.
The glasses in the crowd stay in one spot.
And the kamikaze is done, which means I'm on to my lemon drops.
What is a kamikaze? I don't know what a
Kamikaze is lime juice,
Mine
a little bit of vodka, and triple sec.
tastes like 7-Up.
sounds good.
I think it tastes more like a margarita. I think whoever made you a kamikaze did a bad job, Christine. Oh, by the way,
Your kamikaze?
yeah, Drunk
Oh.
Becky gets real blunt and honest. So if you want to have some good hard talks, you get Becky drunk.
All right. Ink on, baby. It's gonna happen.
Ink con. Oh, let's talk about that. No, let's not, because we'll get segued. What
You
the
know
hell
what
else were we
needs to
supposed to talk about in this episode?
I
Didn't we
can
have
look at
show
that.
notes?
Yeah, I got the show
Yeah, there
notes.
was some sort of note.
Yeah, I'm giving up hosting at this point. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna hand the reins over to Kara.
It was
Joe, help a girl out. What have we not talked
Kara asks good questions.
well, we talked about balancing. Did you talk about balancing different timelines? You covered it a little bit when I asked about the two things.
Thanks, sir.
Plus, it's fucking hilarious. I think we forgot that.
This is
You did forgot about that.
Wait, what are we talking about? Sorry.
one thing we didn't cover was writing from multiple perspectives without head hopping.
Oh yes, head hopping. Let's
Oh,
talk about
yes.
that. I could talk. Because actually, I was reading a book as of last week that head hopped, and it was really frustrating because from the day I actually started worrying about the craft of writing and reading technical books on the subject, that's like the cardinal sin of writing is no head hopping. And so I'm reading this book, and as I would go through a chapter, they would talk from like 4 different perspectives of these different characters, and it was really frustrating. I could follow it, and I didn't specifically have a problem with it, but I had been ingrained to not do that as a writer, so it was hard for me. But one of the things that you have to remember if you're writing from multiple perspectives, which I do advocate, because one of the things I hated about Harry Potter was we only got Harry's perspective. And I understand why she did that, but I really would have loved to heard Hermione's perspective.
Yeah.
Loved to heard that.
That's what fan fiction is for. But it should be in the book. Yeah, in the book is great.
So you're right. That is what fan fiction's for. And if you really love my writing, please write fan fiction. It's like my ultimate goal as a writer. I want to be able to get on fanfiction.net one day and just see Proxy listed underneath as with like thousands of stories.
Is that in any way?
Max and Odessa to hang out in fanfiction.
Yes.
And we can help you promote your book as if we all wrote like a short fan fiction and put it on fanfiction.net, and then
I would love it.
Here's
Oh
the
my
book
God.
that's on pre-order.
You said it. It's on the internet. It has to happen now.
Well, Tony and I were talking a long time ago. Tony Valdez of Dex. Harrison.
At Rock Hollywood.
Yeah.
At Rock Hollywood. No, Tony doesn't have a real name. He's at Rock Hollywood.
We were talking about writing a scene with where our characters meet, like in a bar. Like meeting in a bar. And I think it would be so cool to write something where all of our characters get together and like
And then
interact and stuff.
at InkCommon we can cosplay as our characters and reenact the scene.
If everyone else is going to have an eye patch, I need to have an eye patch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Eye patches for all.
Something bad happened to Drinkshares.
Yeah, it's called alcohol.
There was like a tribute was made 4 eyeballs were needed.
Okay, so back to head hopping.
And the tribute was made.
And writing for
More
multiple
eyeballs were given.
So, like I said, one of the things that frustrated me about Harry Potter was we only got Harry Potter's perspective, which is why we have fan fiction, which I am grateful for, of which that was my first foray into true writing. So I am grateful for fan fiction. But I'd love the ability of multiple perspectives to weave a story together, because with one perspective, you only get one version of the story. And I really like the ability of multiple perspectives to bring into all of the different aspects of the story as you journey along with the characters. So that's really cool.
When your face changes with your eye patch.
I'm trying to be smart over here.
It's not gonna work.
You sound really smart, Drunk Becky.
Thank you. The sad thing is, Drunk Becky is smarter than regular sober Becky. She's just not as eloquent.
Are you
Hard Knock Life.
A question from the chat.
Thank God.
What's the
First off,
hardest?
if you're still watching at this point, you are a true fan, and thank you so much.
We love all of our drinklets.
Drinklets?
Yeah. What is the hardest part of world building when the world is rooted in history? From Elena.
That is such a fantastic
Elena.
question. Who did you say asked that, Joe?
Wait, we
Elena.
have another shot. Somebody's going
Elena.
to take another shot.
Oh, take a shot.
Okay, Joe, take your shot, and then Elena, I will
Oh,
answer that
shit.
question.
All right.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I can do that.
Appropriate answer.
Can you? Can you really?
This is lucky.
Are we
number
on
20.
I love that he's dressed as a pirate and he's doing shots of Kraken rum. That's just
Right?
great.
Okay.
You have
It's all
to
about the branding. We don't have a shanty musical.
We need a shanty. You know what? I think Drinkshares needs an official Drinkshare shanty.
I've been
Yeah.
saying that since we conceived the show.
It can be
My
Yeah,
first
yeah, we
idea,
did talk
my
about that.
first
at the
idea
beginning.
was we need a song and we all need to sing it. And Joe was gonna write it. Joe, you were gonna write it.
No, I have to finish the book. I can't take on any new responsibility.
Joe, what happened? Why are you in the Arctic?
Come back, Joe.
Joe, did you time
There we
travel?
go. There we go. That's better. All right.
Wait, are you a half ghost pirate?
Pirate spirit.
Yes, I am a half-ghost pirate
Pirate, like from
Asteroid
Dragons.
Dragons. I'm cosplaying from
Joe is
DJ Adams.
cosplaying a half ghost.
Oh, this is the
I've got
cheapest
my
cosplay ever.
Are you gonna drum roll me?
Just do
Oh.
the shot, my God.
Oh, that one was hard. The second one was easy, and the third one was hard.
That was your third?
Because Brenda took one.
Oh,
Right,
she
right,
took
right,
one
right,
for
right,
you.
Yes.
No, you should
Took a
wait.
bullet for me.
You need to take another one.
No, because I've
You're
been
doing
taking
this wrong.
beer too, so that'll.
Becky and I are on. We've had 4
I've had way more than
Yeah.
4.
plus extra beverage.
Lemon drops are delicious.
I have like this tear
And I
that
just wanna
keeps coming
say-
out of my eye as I laugh harder and harder.
Ken said this thing in the chat. Ken Lindsay, multiple perspectives done well can add a lot to a story. Being able to differentiate voices through writing is something I've always loved. And I totally agree. I think that writing from doing the distant third person where you can go into different people's heads but still be the separate narrator is a really advanced skill that's really hard to pull off well, because otherwise you just irritate people with
Yeah.
the hopping from head to head. So
Yes.
it's
I'm glad you
it's
brought
a
that up.
skill.
Sorry.
It's okay.
On
By
camera.
all means.
Thank you for bringing that up here. 'Cause the point I tried to get to and then totally lost was that you have to be careful when you're writing from multiple perspectives, that if you are writing within the same chapter multiple perspectives, you have to page break. You have to do some kind of break that lets the reader know that you are transitioning from one perspective in one person's head to another. If you do it within the same paragraph, like if in this paragraph you're talking about your male character, and then in this paragraph you're talking about your female character, but you're talking about their inner monologue and their thoughts and their feelings, that's head hopping. If you want to break and totally change perspective, that's different. Okay, so that you have to acknowledge that.
But
Reading.
no, what I'm saying is the really advanced thing. You have a single narrator who's like a distant third person, and within the same paragraph or multiple paragraphs can go into different people's heads.
That's if you're doing like
Really hard to do.
if you're doing third person action. There's a book I can't think of it. Oh, Hitchhikers. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is a
Hitchhiker's Guide to
perfect
the
example of that.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole idea of that is it's the narrator. You know, they're from the onset of the book, you understand that there is this extra dimensional person telling the story of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And it works because the whole thing is kind of culminated in this book of the Hitchhiker's Guide. So it works really well in that particular context. But that doesn't work with every book. And so
Yes,
you
it doesn't. That's true. Mm-hmm.
All right, back to Elena. I did not forget, I promise.
Wait, what was the question?
This
Reddit.
writing
There's
multiple
a
historical
ghost. There's another ghost pirate.
Oh God, half
I'm
the
trying to be Joe.
You gotta tell Derek about this.
Yeah. Why does he not watch our shows then, Mom? This would be right up his alley.
Derek,
Probably,
it breaks my heart.
He doesn't watch our
He probably
show.
has a life.
Derek, why don't you watch our show?
Well, he
He
doesn't
probably
want to like
has a
theater,
life.
so maybe. he's
Derek,
right.
are we not good enough for you? Are we
Are
not
we
funny
not
enough?
pirate enough for you?
Back up off the screen, Becky.
We're pirates.
Back away from the screen.
I will not, Kara. I will not back up until G. Derek watches our show.
Zoom our cameras anyways.
He's never going to see your face.
I am the great and powerful Oz.
Oh my
Be
God!
gone
Elena wants
from
an
this
answer to a
place.
damn question.
Wait, what was her question?
So Elena asked, "Hey Becky, how do you write from multiple historical perspectives within history or something like that?" I don't know.
The hardest part of world building is when the world is rooted in history.
Okay.
Wait, was that her question?
No,
Yes, it
not
was.
in Italian.
There was a question on that. So the hardest part of world building is when the world is rooted in history?
Show. Venezia. I don't know if they call it in Italy.
I knew it was only a matter of time before we got back to an episode 0 level of good.
It was. Hey,
we were so professional on Saturday.
We crushed it on Saturday.
Episodes.
For anybody who's curious, you should watch the episode, the special from Saturday, and then you should watch this one and see what a difference alcohol makes in your presentation abilities.
Joe, we just have range. We're like actors. We have incredible range.
Incredible range.
All right, Elena.
That's what you want in your writer, right?
Yeah, I'm a character actor. I'm just a character. We did it in Max's character. We're all cosplaying Max.
Wait, what's Max? She's got some, like, devil horns, maybe?
To answer your question, Elena.
Let's try to be Max.
The hardest part about world building, when you're writing from historical perspectives, is the fact that you somewhat feel limited in not wanting to mess with history. I actually reached out and talked to Christopher Moore on Twitter about this, humble brag, but one of the things that you have to remember is this is a work of fiction, so it's totally okay to screw everything up. Especially with the whole idea and the concept of my story being about not understanding the truth of history, you kind of want some stuff to be a little off-kilter. Kara is really distracting me with her dancing pirate ghost.
Yeah.
Sorry.
She was the
She's
sober
not
person.
even. I would like to remind the audience that Kara is the sober one.
I am. I just like to have fun.
My hardest struggle being a history teacher is the fact that I've really had to grapple with trying to balance real history with fantastic history and trying to come to terms with what I want to change and what I want to manipulate. And it's been really hard. I felt kind of stifled because of it. So I really have to find a way to tell the story within the historical context that I want to tell, but also understand that I want fantastic things to happen. And, you know, it's important to remember that the version of history we get isn't always the truth. History is written by the winners. I know that's a cliche, but it's true. I teach
That's
that.
what I think is really interesting about, like, the premise you explained to me, where you're kind of, like, showing a whole different angle on history.
Well, I'm a social historian, so I know all about understanding the perspective of the winner's version of history. If, you know, Native Americans and African Americans and women and all of the other religious and ethnic minorities that have ever come to this country totally understand winners write the version of history that they want to. And unfortunately, for a long time in not only our country, that's been rich, landowning white males. So understanding that
European.
Yes, especially European. Understanding that that perspective isn't necessarily the only perspective is the first step. But I teach my students from day one that the idea of historical context has to be taken lightly. I actually showed them an episode of The Simpsons where Mr. Burns hits Bart with his car, and each one gives a statement in court about what happened, and you see completely different stories of the same event, and so that's what I teach my kids.
Was it a Rashomon homage? Sounds like a Rashomon homage.
I don't remember. I just remember it was
Becky,
just
how's my Max cosplay?
It's perfect. The horns really drive it home.
Yeah.
I hope that answered your question, Elena. I'm really sorry if it didn't even come close.
That was a really good answer.
Thank you, Kara.
For a drunk person. I'm very impressed.
Little do you know I've been doing this every day at teaching. I got really good at it. That's a lie. I do
So
that.
Don't say that.
Now.
You know, this is being recorded, Rebecca.
Yeah, I know it's being recorded.
Rebecca S. Lever is not drunk every day.
No, I've never been drunk. There have been days I wished I was. And any teacher knows that that is a fact. Nobody could fault me for wishing it.
I think everybody feels that way. I feel that way.
I'm
thinking like I could fit a bottle of wine in my file cabinet.
I'm not saying we should all go to work drunk, but I'm saying I think work would be just a little better if we were all buzzed. Just putting that out there.
Life would be better. Well, except
all right, Joe.
for the good drunks. Not everyone's a good drunk.
Joe, check the show notes.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. I'm going to flip over here. I'm going to check the show notes. With each passing moment, it becomes difficult. to navigate the computer.
Oh no. Okay, shit. Do I really need to
remove some
do I need to lock it down?
face
Do I
layers.
I think we covered a lot of the topics. I mean, we did.
Do I need to take off my pirate hat?
No. I think
Never. Never give up and never surrender.
we did. Comments on timelines. We did.
I really like having a
writing from
beard,
multiple
though.
perspectives. We
I really
did,
It
like
looks nice on you.
I know. I wish I could
And
grow
you
a beard.
love beards, so
I do.
you accept that it looks good on you.
I love
You know,
beards.
if
Oh,
nothing,
you look good
though,
without a beard
just
too.
say, hey, audience, who's always wanted to ask Drunk Becky questions to get honest answers? Ask them now. She's totally uninhibited.
I threw that in the chat. The chat
Because
room
people
thing
have
right
so
now.
many questions.
The one thing that we
You're always
actually
honest.
amazingly hit all of our
To a
topics
fault.
already, but we could spend more time talking about the do's and don'ts of
Oh, crowdfunding. We should talk
Yeah,
about crowdfunding.
You know what?
probably
That's perfect. I'm gonna sneak away for just a split second and you guys talk.
Don't you want to? Okay,
Talk amongst yourselves. I'll be back in like 30 seconds.
Yes.
okay
And then
Becky.
you can watch later and catch the 30
Yeah.
seconds of wisdom you missed.
Yep.
Are you gonna talk to me or to the audience?
Well, to you. You're the one that just started our campaign today.
Yeah,
Yeah, Brian,
Yeah,
I know.
we need some
Okay.
advice.
Okay,
How about
Don't
we tell?
solicit. We'll give it to you.
give me 30 seconds, and then you can endow onto me all of your wisdoms.
Let's talk a bunch of jive about Becky watching.
Yeah, talk about me like that'll be more fun to
Yeah.
come back and watch anyway.
All right. So, like, I know Becky has a cardboard cutout of Matt Smith back there, yet she has not put it on the show yet.
What's that
It's
about?
like 2 inches off of the screen. That pisses
You know,
me
when
off.
I'm
Who
when I
wants to
met
make a
her,
bet that Becky's husband is not real?
he is
Fake
real.
husband.
She showed us a picture once.
Twice.
That could
I've
be a
seen
stock.
two.
That could be stock photography.
No, and he was making noise in the background.
hear
I
him
guess this
talk
is all
all the
circumstantial.
That could be anybody. She could have
Yeah,
hired
that's
somebody.
true.
She could just have like a gamer stream
Yeah.
with the
She
same
just
guy
had like
all the time.
Overwatch running in the background, and then like just like people talking shit. Or she had like a Twitch stream running.
Her crown is just hanging out there.
That's amazing.
So while you were gone, we theorized that your husband is not real, and why hasn't the Matt Smith cardboard cutout showed up on the screen?
Oh, I completely forgot. Hold on.
Matt should
Oh,
come.
pretzel. And she
Matt-
has never
Matt should
given
come
me
hang out with us.
pretzels. God.
If Becky's husband is real, why
Oh,
isn't he
there he
eating
is.
pretzels? Oh, there's Matt.
Mr. Smith.
There we
See,
go.
I do not. I'm sorry, world who likes Doctor Who. I do not get the appeal of that guy. Don't get it.
Too bad.
His face
don't need
looks like
to.
somebody punched a block of molding clay a few times.
Have you watched
you?
the show or like just based on pictures?
No, I haven't watched the show. And granted, there are a lot of people that I don't
Watch.
find attractive at all, and then I watch them, and then
Hour.
that happens a lot though.
Yeah,
Actually,
he's
I
got
look
a
at
good
somebody and I'll be like, "You are not attractive,"
A lot
but
of
then I
times
see them
guys-
talk, or they're like, you know, like, "Oh yeah, I have." It's like 4D attractive, like
Yeah, they have to move.
through time. Yeah, movement
So-
through time, and
Real
their voice
people
talking
like,
and
not
stuff.
everyone takes a good still picture.
What I should have said earlier when someone asked me why we should read Proxy, I should have been like, I don't know. Maybe you should ask Matt Smith and Jensen Ackles.
These guys.
Jensen Ackles is hot though. There's no getting around that. That's a hot guy.
Jensen Ackles is the hottest human being on the planet.
He's really hot.
He is
He
so...
looks boring. I say he's boring.
No,
Let's fight about it.
Christine, we will
I would
fight.
say he's boring,
We
except
will fight.
he has really
Christine,
beautiful
have you
eyes.
seen the freckles? He has freckles.
He has really
He's a badass with freckles.
Boring.
There's a reason I chose him for the particular person that Max is dreaming about when she's drunk.
That's fine for her. I don't need to like it.
That's okay,
That's
Christine.
okay,
Christine,
Christine,
always have
who
Matt
is the
Smith.
hottest person on the planet? Christine Brennicky, right now. Who's the hottest person on the planet?
Huh.
Joe Shaziva.
Oh, wait. We all know.
Joe Truzzi.
Joe inspires me with his hotness.
Question answered. Move on.
Ooh, if I was a little bit drunker, I was about to say something funny.
Oh man, she's not
There's
drinking.
not enough orders.
Censoring herself.
Drink more,
right.
Christine.
Which
I
is
will
the
ask
doctor?
this,
Which is the doctor?
But
in
I'm
the,
not going to answer it.
in the
Damn
episodes that are written by Neil Gaiman. Is that Matt Smith?
What?
Yeah, it's Matt Smith.
Yes.
Those are great, great episodes. If you ever
They're
watch any Doctor Who,
fantastic.
and they stand
Mhm.
alone
The
on their
Doctor's
own
Wife.
They do.
without having to watch any other Doctor Who. Just watch those episodes, and they're great. Super, super
Yeah.
good.
Or like Blink is David Tennant's era, but that's like an amazing standalone, and it's really like very unique because the Doctor's barely even in that episode. It's so good.
I liked the Doctor's Wife. I like the way that they explore the relationship of the Doctor with the
It's
TARDIS,
so cute.
and it's
'Cause
like
at the end of
really
the day,
like
it's always the Doctor and
I
Miss
wish we
Fox.
could see the TARDIS embodied in whatever, I don't know that actress's name, but I wish we could see her again.
Mhm.
She was delightful. All right,
yeah, that was a
question.
great episode.
I don't have to answer it. You
Wisdom.
guys do. Who's the hottest author on Inkshares?
Wait, was that a question in the chat?
Yeah.
Who was that?
Why are we
asked
all
that.
pretending it's not Elon
Tony?
Samuel?
Yeah, it should be Elon or Tony. We still gonna do pretzels chewing time.
What?
I am.
It was like dead air and then just chewing pretzels.
And I think
Sorry.
I'm not probably going to answer that one.
Elon's got the.
But you have an answer, right?
He
I
lives
don't
in
wanna-
San Francisco.
well, of
He's
course I
clean
do.
cut.
I don't want to make anybody uncomfortable, though.
That's fair. Oh, you were
Like,
really
I-
orange.
I have this thing where, like, you know, women already go through their whole lives spending so much of their time, like, how much success you have at work and, like, promotions and getting housing loans and all sorts of bullshit is based on how attractive you are, you know. So I don't feel good about rating women, whereas with guys, like, you can look like a squished potato and still sell 1 million books and people will respect you. Like, your success isn't really as dependent on how
That would be
attractive you are.
amazing.
On Doctor Who, there's
Potato
actually a
put book
character
out.
that does look like a potato.
Yes, and he's delightful too.
He is.
I need
In
to
fact,
catch up on Doctor Who.
I want a spin-off
recent
of just those three, of Jenny and
Yeah, I thought that, like,
Vastra.
it seemed like there was going to be because they had so many episodes for a while there.
So although I have thoughts, I wouldn't want to rate the winner of Drinkshares. Because we already get rated enough.
It's different for men because men
Yeah.
have a lot of advantages over women, so you can rate us. Because, like, it's not like...
And we
I
will.
don't understand.
As you should. I just wrote in the chat that I voted for Tony because he played David Bowie in one of his book promotional videos. And I'm a huge Bowie fan.
I need to. I don't think I've seen that. I saw
It was
his.
really good too. It was like not
his
shabby.
Doctor
Like, it
Who
was like
cosplay.
I always get really irritated when people are like, "Oh, I write in a good book, and I'm also a good musician." So I vote for Tony.
Christine, are you volunteering to answer?
No, I said that I was not going to answer that question,
Oh, okay.
but I'll ask it.
But I'll ask it.
Not
So
fair.
is this the point at which we can officially declare the show off the rails?
Yeah, oh yeah,
No,
it
it's
went off the
been-
rails.
it's been
And
over
it's
now.
out.
Declare the show over.
It's actually 9:30. We survived the
It's
show.
9:30.
Yeah,
You guys
I think
know
it's
the
time for
important
the
stuff,
after
right?
party.
I think the after party started an hour ago.
It did. It did. But you know, we really knew that this show was going to go off the rails. We prepared.
That
for
was
it,
part of
so,
the
like,
plan.
It was like part of the planning document. It was this show was going to go off
There's
the
a
rails.
reason everybody
Show
was
goes off
throwing
the
off.
rails.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
So
a
good
lie.
job, us.
So
Good job,
So,
us, for going
so
completely.
Becky,
off
do
the rails.
you have any like promotions coming up for your book that you could tell us about so we can get excited about?
That would be fantastic, and mean I would have forethought about what I do after today. So, as much as I would
It's
love to
serious.
talk about that,
You're in a direct message phase after today.
okay.
A
So
lot
why don't
of
you guys tell me
direct
what promotions I need to do, because this is all new territory for me.
Harass everyone.
Politely,
I've already done
direct
that.
Direct messages work the
but
best.
directly,
Direct messages via email or Facebook worked really well
or
for me.
both.
I
At
don't
one
think the
point,
one with yours worked, to be honest.
What's that?
I don't think the direct message is on Drinkshares.
No, yeah. When I say that, I don't mean on Drinkshares. I mean
like on
your
Facebook.
circles outside of
Yeah.
Drinkshares.
I've pre-ordered books off direct messages because, if you're taking the time to write a personalized message to me to look at a thing, it's not a guaranteed purchase because I might not like the book, but if you reach out and say, hey, here's my book, here's why you should like it, and then I look at it and I do like it, like for sure I'm going to pre-order.
You're a nice guy, Joe. You're a rare fellow.
Yeah.
You're a rare breed.
I'm also a programmer, so I got a little extra money to pre-order books.
I was going to say, I don't have the money to respond to every request.
Yeah.
Well, and you
if
can't
I did,
possibly
I would, but I don't.
But you can't possibly be interested in every single book that gets.
I'm not like picking up every single book. I'm picking up books that there was a book that I pre-ordered today. I think it was called WrestleLand, and it sounded awesome. Did you see that thing?
Yeah, I saw it.
It looked really good.
I'm pretty good about only following books that I'm really into.
Yeah.
So if I follow you, that means that someday I'd like to place an order when I have all the money to place all the orders.
And that's why I'm not stressing out. Like, Elena, don't feel bad that I'm using you as an example, but it was very sweet of you to do this. Elena messaged me earlier today, and she's like, I promise I'm going to order a copy. I just can't do it until tomorrow. And I was like, oh, Elena, that's so sweet. But I've got 3 months, doll. You don't have to order today. So, I'm not hyper bent on if I don't have orders today, then nobody loves me. I get it. We all have financial issues. We're not. If we were all rich, we wouldn't be here.
More advice. Focus your energy outside of Inkshares. Because the Inkshares community will rally once you get close if they like you or like your book, or like your book. So just focus your energy outside of Inkshares.
Like Facebook outside or Twitter outside or
people that you know that aren't
don't spend time on Twitter. Twitter is too short-lived. So when you post a message on Twitter, it's in and out, and there's no guarantee that anybody's going to see it.
Twitter's more about your brand.
Yeah, Twitter is about sending funny things that people will laugh at and press little heart buttons. But they're not going to pre-order books off of it. I do, I get referrals
once in a while, but not big numbers.
I think that I'll get a referral credit for people that see what I've pre-ordered, but that's people that are already intending to pre-order it and then click my link. I don't think you're going to be getting a lot of traffic from Twitter. Facebook works better because the posts are longer lived. Direct messages work fast. One-to-one messages are the most time-consuming. But when you make that personal connection, it's much easier to sell a book.
And you'll be really surprised. Someone that you haven't talked to since high school will respond, and they'll be stoked about it, and say something really supportive and awesome, and you'll feel great.
I'm actually really surprised about how many people from Facebook were really excited and sharing it on their Facebooks today. Like people that I used to work with and people that I went to college with, and I was really stoked about that. So that really touched home for me that people would honestly care. But
and if you have any friends, because I got this.
If I have friends,
who? No, who?
If you have,
I understand why that would be a question with me. So I'm not even offended.
If you have any friends, who? Okay. And then I went into the sidebar where I started explaining. I have this friend who always gets 50 comments on her posts that she makes on Facebook. She's she's very social on Facebook. She has lots of friends. They're from all over the place, and she's very interactive. And so I asked her to do a shout out for my book, and she did. And she's gotten me 50 orders.
Whoa!
It's insane.
That's awesome.
Because she has a really wide reach. So if you notice any of your friends on Facebook who are getting a lot of comments on their posts and they have a lot of interaction with their friends, ask them to promo your book, and if they like you at all, just or if they like your writing at all, just say, hey, do me a favor, friends. Give this girl a chance. Yeah. And maybe.
Speaking of orders, I just checked. We're at 20. So.
Lagasp.
I think I did.
You said Lagasp.
But of course.
Is that me? Are we back to me?
I did the shot for 20.
Yeah.
Is
You
that
can
me?
Did the shot for 20?
No one will stop you.
If you want to do another shot.
Let's, Becky, you and me, let's both do one.
Okay.
Shot.
You're going way past my number I was gonna stop at.
Yeah, we all broke
That
that.
kind of happens.
I'm still like I have a strong resolution to get up early tomorrow morning. And
Joe, do we have anybody left in the chat at this point? Because I would not believe it if we did.
We have
Yeah,
people
there
in
are
the
people
chat.
there.
We have viewers. Like not a lot.
Hey, viewers.
But, you know,
Are you ready?
we especially love
Ready?
the ones that have hung out.
Yeah.
We
love
someone
you
drum roll
guys.
us.
This is gonna be a huge shot, Christine, because I got like half a cup
I
left.
think
Oh
it's
my
a
God,
drum
that's
roll
a lot.
myself.
Yeah, that's not a
Takes
shot. That's a drink.
coordination.
Yeah, this is a drink. I'm just gonna take a huge drink of it.
There we go.
Okay, ready?
Ooh. Been a while.
I did it.
Again.
Let's do a shout out to Ken Lindsay because
Yes.
he's been
Let's-
a huge supporter of your book and he's
He
been a
has.
big fan of the show and he needs to get his due.
Why don't?
Give me a second. I want to talk about Ken Lindsay for just like 5 seconds.
Okay, do it.
Honest
Ken
talk.
Lindsay is writing a book that would very easily parallel with the universe of my book. And it's called Clockwork Charlie. And it also has to do with ancient gods and mythology and things like that. So, for very selfish reasons, I want Ken Lindsay's book to get published. Not just because I genuinely love it and I really like it and I think that it has to do a lot with my story, but I want there to be crossover fan fiction between Proxy and Clockwork Charlie. So go and follow that book. And when he finally puts it up with when he goes to sell pre-orders after draft, please buy copies of it because we need this to happen. Because I have very low self-esteem. And
Hey,
this will
wait,
make
no,
me happy.
that's another piece of advice that I give you. I have a lot of advice. And you find the other authors on Inkshares that have crossover audiences with yours. Like, they might know people who like your book, and you know people who like their book. And then you cross-promote each other.
Mm-hmm.
And then people will, like, be like, oh, yeah. And, or,
I feel like you should also shout
That's
out
a figure's idea.
I don't know if PH James is in the chat tonight or not because I haven't looked, but he's also been a huge
I haven't
supporter.
I have a question for the
I
chat.
heard Peachy James.
Peachy?
Peachy.
Peachy James.
Peachy James.
Love you, Peachy James.
If there's anyone in the chat that hasn't followed us on Twitter, go ahead and do it now. You'll be our 200th follower, and therefore you will get a shout out.
Woohoo! 200 followers? That's
We have
exciting.
really, yeah, that's all
Yeah.
Christine. Christine's been killing it with the
I can't
social
believe
media.
there are 200 people in this world that care about what we have to say when we drink.
I mean, I'm sure some portion is just random people, but
No, don't
real
take
people.
it away, Christine. Don't do it.
I'm also honest sometimes. Sometimes.
You're too sweet to be honest.
We get a fair number of,
What was that? Hold on. Christine, what the hell is that look?
That was a face.
I know you made a face.
Guys, we should wrap up probably, right?
No.
Probably a good idea. Yeah, we should wrap it up.
Party's gonna go all night.
You can
I have to
party
get up-
after this.
I have to get
There's
up
the
early.
after show.
Resolving to get up
Yeah, we
early.
need to after show this right now. Wait,
Should we wrap it up?
yeah,
So,
Joe, you are good at that. Do that.
yes, I am good at the wrap up. For the 2 viewers that we have in right now, I would like to say, if you enjoy our show and you like what we're doing, what we'd really like to do is we'd like to bring up our viewers, our concurrent viewers during the show. Spread the word. If you have friends, family, anything that would like what we're doing, we do it every other
Drink
Monday.
along at home.
The more people that you get to watch our show, the more exposure we get, the more we can do this. So please follow us on Twitter, follow us on Facebook, tell a friend. I know that a lot of you guys are regulars and you come here every single time, and we really appreciate it. We love it, and we see it in the chat, and that means a lot to us.
We do.
Because
We
it's
love
like
you guys.
you're our beautiful inner circle.
If no one watched, we probably would have stopped doing this a while
Oh yeah.
ago.
It's true.
This
Yeah.
gives us something to
Well,
look
we
forward to
would've
every
done it.
Monday.
We would have done it anyway, but we would have just done it without sharing it live. So for us to continue to do this and continue to share with the community, please spread the word. Be our chariots. spread the voices throughout social media and tell your friends because we got some good stuff and we're always improving and we have lots of good content. And if I can remember correctly, I know Christine did the numbers, but we have a planning document where we have content that brings us
yeah.
2018.
We've got 2 years worth of content ahead.
God, we're the shit.
Our
we have
ideas
a lot of
yeah.
content in the pipeline, so so if you like what I'm doing,
and some are really exciting and fun,
and some are not,
and some are serious,
and this is not the
and
usual.
informative.
Yeah, and this is this is at a episode 0 level of incoherence.
Shotstravaganza. We advertised it correctly.
Yeah, plus we needed to unwind a little bit because we did an extremely serious episode on Saturday.
Well, and we had just had shitty weeks.
Like it was depressing or something.
Like we were just very smart and very.
We're
the end of April. Each one of us has had like a shitstorm in our own personal lives. So to have this was pretty glorious. It was really nice to have this to just decompress, So I'm not super worried about the sophistication level of this episode.
And I learned that I can still take a lot of shots after all these years.
I like this.
Okay.
We have a comment.
How many have you had?
You're supposed to count.
Way to go, Dee Dee. That's the equivalent of we all just died.
I'm going to guess 5.
It's like your opinion there.
Joe said there was a comment from one of our
there was a comment from Ken, and he says he looks forward to the episodes because it makes him feel Inkshares feels like a real community. And being one of the people who started the community, that makes me feel really good. Because when we started the Sword and
Joe
Laser
was a
contest,
founding father.
Yeah, he started the Goodreads for him. It's a community
for
hero.
anybody who doesn't know the Inkshares history, when the Sword and Laser it'll be short. Sword and Laser was a very.
We have 2 viewers, Kara. I think they're with us for the long haul.
Okay.
They'll be here. Sword and Laser was a very difficult contest for a lot of us. And when the Nerdist contest started, Jeff Dubois from the podcast that shall not be named went and he said, "Hey, I want to blow this wide open.
Take another shot."
Yeah, somebody doesn't have to take another shot.
Oh, did I get a 21st?
Yeah.
It's Joe's shot.
And oh god.
Becky should take all of the just partner with us.
I can do that. I mean, at this point, I'm already obliterated, so.
But there you go. Don't hit the thing yet. I don't have a shot.
Sorry.
Still gotta pour the shot.
Wait. Yeah, woo!
Ooh.
Okay, history, Joe.
So in the first Nerdist contest, JF said, "I want to blow this thing wide open. I want to get. What if we just got everybody funded? Let's nuts for the contest. Let's just get a bunch of pre-orders." And so I took what he said to heart, and I said, "Yeah, we need to the things that we developed over the Sword and Laser contest. We need to spread that out, and we need to get people communicating because the thing that kind of kept us alive in the contest was not treating each other like enemies, but treating each other like we're all trying to reach the same goal. There's so much talent on this network." So I put the Goodreads. I started the Goodreads reads group. And then from there it just blew up, and then now there's the Inkshares forum, and then there's Right Brain, and there's us, and just to see that when the people, the official people that work at Inkshares look at all this and say it's gotten bigger than they've ever imagined, it feels good. That's my
Yay! And what's cool is that they count on us now. They know that we're gonna put ourselves out there to do things like draft shares and review-a-thon, and we are going to carry the community. So I think that's cool that they can depend on us to put up our end of the bargain too, because we know how hard Shares is working for us. They're so bogged down right now, it's not even funny. Like, we were just talking in Slack today about how it's going to be like a year before any of us see books because they're so busy, which we can't be upset about because that's a good thing that they're busy. Because that means there's lots of book orders coming in.
Yeah.
So yeah, business is booming, and I'm really thankful for that. That I got on at a good time. So you can't be upset about when they're too busy, because it's good for you. But yeah, it's good to know that they trust us to run campaigns like Drop Shares and Review-a-thon and all of the different things that we do, because it means that they put their stock in their business. I mean, that's their livelihoods, and let us run with it.
Christine, you have to do a shot because we have 22 orders.
Oh my
22
God.
is my favorite number, by the way. Thank you, whoever's 22, because that's my birthday.
22 is also my birthday.
Is it really, Joe? I didn't know that.
March 22nd.
Nice. Mine's December, but still cool. Part of the 22nd club.
Oh God, this is a lot.
My brother-in-law is February 22nd, and my nephew is June 22nd.
February
so.
22nd. That's 2 days before me.
Rosie
Yeah.
is the 22nd.
Because we started, our first episode was on Christine's birthday.
It was on my birthday, and then Joe had a birthday too. And I don't know when Kara or Becky's birthdays are, but we will awkwardly sing to you
Rosie
at
is
some
the
point.
22nd.
Did you say Rosie's the 22nd?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Of what month?
November.
Nice.
Like 1122.
Easy to remember.
Can we all just say hi, Chris? Chris arrived.
Yeah, Chris
Yay,
showed up.
Chris!
And
Hi,
he,
Chris!
Hi. Oh,
he's
Chris went.
regular, and he missed a hell of an episode.
He did. He's going to have to go back and watch.
You're wearing a pirate. Chris, you have no idea. Oh my gosh.
I don't even know
Chris,
how
you don't
many
even
shots
know.
I've had. It's amazing.
I have not been keeping track. You probably had at least 7.
I think you're on like 5.
No,
I think I'm on a 6.
because we checked in at 4.
We
And
should
then-
fight about it.
You guys did another
We should
one.
fight about
And then,
Conflict.
Save
I'm
it
just
for
saying.
Slack, people.
so 10. So 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3.
The point
You
is
guys,
drink.
you took extra ones.
Yeah, we did.
Becky, are you ready?
Oh, yeah, I'm doing this too. Okay, cheers.
God, how many have you had? Cheers.
We'll put it this way. I'm almost out of alcohol.
Ruh-roh.
Yeah.
Joe, I totally missed doing a Hamilton cue for you.
For
When I
what?
called
In
you
this
up.
episode?
When I called you a founding father,
Oh, yeah. Boy, I haven't listened to
I was
that
going to
soundtrack
start
in a while.
singing Hamilton, but I couldn't remember any of the lyrics.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to pull up any of them right
Wait,
now.
so how many pre-orders do you have now?
22.
22, right?
Excellent.
Good
You're-
number.
You're you're double digits twice over. Does that make
There you
sense? Is that right?
What did we start at? Was 15?
12?
12. So 10 orders.
So all we had to do is put our bodies through hell.
Do I have to be drunk every day for you people? Is that what it's going to take
I'm
to
gonna
reach
be
my
like,
dream?
super
think
drunk at
Probably
midnight.
the book, though, don't you think?
Well,
like,
I guess that's a good reason.
Nobody's ordering your book to make us drunk. It's because they want to order your book because it looks really awesome.
Because
I
they
don't
like
know.
who you are.
Plus, it makes us drunker.
Is it my charming personality?
I think it was when the episode went off the rails.
think
Like, pre-order.
All of the eye patches.
It was eye patches. That's what sold them.
The half ghost pirate.
Yes.
Is anyone in our personal chat right now, or are you guys all on the FX screen?
What's that?
I'm not.
When
in
you
our
when you
personal
post
flyer.
something in the personal
Christine's
chat,
being super honest right now. We'll put it that way.
That was several minutes ago.
That was several
4
minutes.
minutes ago.
On that note, I think we need to just finalize this
Wrap it up.
episode and move on to after party.
Okay, all right. So
Yeah.
because Joe said he was really good at wrapping up, and he totally failed to wrap us up entirely.
Well, you're DD, Kara. This is your
I
job.
can
You had
do
one
that. I know.
job.
I'm gonna take the wheel.
It's my job. It's my job to
Kara
pull
takes
people
the
in and ask people to spread the word, be like the Johnny
Okay.
Appleseed of chat of social
Okay,
media.
Johnny Appleseed.
And it's your job to be sober because you're generating life.
Spread your seed.
Geographically sober.
No. Okay. Nope. Nope. We're fine. Nope.
Hey,
Drinkshares.
We
Kara, since you're the only sober person, how can people find us in between episodes?
LC. At Drinkshares
I wouldn't
LC.
want to.
You can email drinkshareslastcall@gmail.com.
Has anybody dropped that email in a million years?
Too many people are talking.
We just Google Drinkshares, and we're the only ones. Okay, that's
We're
us.
the only,
We
except
have
for that other
corner on
Drinkshares.
this SEO market.
There is one other Drinkshares, and we have clearly SEO.
Which was brought to you by
Shut up.
actual Inkshares.
Yeah, you
They
guys
have way
just
more
go
views
watch.
than- Like I wanna beat that score.
You should just go watch that
Just watch our
episode of
episodes over and
Drinkshares.
over and over.
No, that episode of Drinkshares that Inkshares made.
No,
They
no,
thought
no.
of this-
No,
they thought
no,
of the same
because then we'll
comment I
never
did.
beat their score if you keep watching it.
Oh, that's true. Don't watch it.
Then we'll just get a bunch of trolls being like, why can't you be as good as that episode?
They had real fancy food. We never had
in a
fancy
restaurant.
food. Ugh.
Anyway,
Jerks.
so look us
You
up
can start
online.
making fancy
We have a
food.
Twitter account,
We cannot make fancy food.
Drinkshares LC.
Stop talking so Kara can talk about us.
Shut up!
I've done many shots.
Shut up! Drinkshares LC. There's a YouTube channel. There's a Facebook page. Just you people are capable of Googling. I don't need to tell you all this. So just look at it, and it will be great. We offer exclusive content. No, we don't.
This is pretty exclusive.
We offer an inside
We
look.
got real. It's the new real world.
You know how they always talk about
No.
writers and artists having like mental issues? This is a firsthand
No,
like
We're
this
all
is an
fine.
insight into that.
it's okay.
Historians, as Becky,
okay.
as somebody who loves history, people will look back on this
No.
and say, Becky, Kara, Christine, Joe, great writers of our
Okay,
time.
everybody. Okay, I want to. Okay, harmonize with me.
Wait, sing?
The Zen moment.
Who has alcohol still in their cup? Who still has drinks? Anybody have drinks?
Hold on to it.
All right.
Do it.
Kara is going to say goodbye to these poor fans of ours, and we are going
Why are we
to.
doing this?
Joe's already drinking. Wow.
Okay,
Okay.
everybody.
I'm
Good
not gonna-
night.
I can't handle instructions.
Good night.
Good night.
Parting is
World.
such sweet sorrow. May
And
all your drinks be shared till it be mine.
May all your drinks be shared.
May
all
all
your
your
drinks be shared.
Good night.